I guess this is part two. And I have no idea where I left off at because I was driving and wasn't paying attention that the phone had went out. But anyway, wherever I left off at, cut to your children growing up and they start showing disrespect. And I dealt with it the way my dad dealt with it. You get your back, you get punched in your mouth, or you get your, you know, it was punishments at first, but the older they get and the more they go out into the world, the more they understand, like, really, the consequences of being disrespectful or not listening or, just being an unruly child at some point. The consequences weren't great enough for them to stop being disobedient. And so the disrespect set in. And see, once that set in, that's where a man comes in to help with it. And the man that helped me raise my kids for like 11 years, he knew what time it was. Like, I'll do the discipline over here. And he wasn't that kind of a father with his own kids. You know what I'm saying? He threatened them and stuff, but he wasn't that kind of disciplinarian or whatever. But that's where a man comes in, and it's usually their dad, if y'all in the same household. But I didn't have it. So what it did was toughen me. It was just like I had a son. You're not going to talk to me and rear your chest up at me. And when you start getting some cootie cutter, they start showing out. But anyway, they're grown now, right? And we don't have the best relationship. Actually, our relationships are horrible across the board. I need to say that. They are horrible. And, periodically I'll get back in there and I'll try. But sometimes it just, like this last time, my daughter called me crying, the baby, the most disrespectful, and she was crying. So I'm like, what's wrong? Because I know something wrong when you call me crying because you don't want me to know that you're not handling your life and you want me to think that things are perfect. And I know they aren't perfect. So, and she's telling me the stresses and strains of her her oldest daughter's now in high school and the baby goes to school in Center City. The oldest daughter's in high school in Roxborough and she's having a hard time getting. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Because one thing about their dad, he ain't perfect, but he makes sure them girls get their needs met. He makes sure they get their needs met. And for his age, I think he is a great dad, especially with her nasty ass attitude. So anyway, we talk things over. She can't board the kids or whatever. I wound up putting the kids in my building. You can't get in without a code. The baby girl, she don't listen. She want to go back and forth. I don't have that problem with the 15-year-old. She say her little smart stuff and go about her business, and me and her chill. I get her. But that baby, she just like my daughter. And my daughter has her thinking that is if she don't say she was wrong or don't like her behavior, it's going to be a problem. Nobody's supposed to correct her unless, and I take offense at that. I'm the grandmother. Well, cut to the end. I wound up calling her and telling her, come get her kids. It had only been a day. Come get your kids. Because what I realized is the tone she took when I told her I took the baby's phone. She's 7, very smart, emotionally. She's a smart child. And, no. Yeah, she's emotionally immature like my daughter. Unlike the 15-year-old. She's pretty mature emotionally. But anyway, I had to tell her, come get her kids. Come get your kids. I don't like the tone you're taking when I told you I had to take her phone as if I'm doing something wrong. When I ask her to do something, and I don't ask to do much, I just ask you to pick up your toys, and you want to go back and forth with me and then start throwing a tantrum. So that didn't end well. It didn't end well. She thought she was going to come in my apartment building and You know, she don't care what she show out at, so you gotta go. But I'm telling that story to say, sometimes I wish, cause you make sacrifices being, you make hella fucking sacrifices being a single mom. You make hella sacrifices, hell, being a mother at all. You know, and I just feel, although I love my kids, I knew their lives deserved a chance. And but I'm not taking your bullshit. You grown, you know. So and I go back and forth, and it makes me emotional when I think about, like, how many parents feel that way about their kids if they are honest. Because I hear all the fairy tale and, you know, the stories, and me and my kids are great, and we do this together, do that together, and all that. I'm talking about grown kids at this point. And I just don't, I just don't, you know, I think I just shut down when I start feeling, because it's sad and it's confusing. And sometimes I just go to, you know, was it worth it? Should you have remained single? You had such a promising future, and you know. So comment, y'all. Comment under and let me know if any of y'all have ever felt those kinds of parenting ills. Like shit that might make you physically sick if you think about it too long. You know, yeah, let me know. And I want to talk more about that, because we're living in times where kids, they ain't even got to be grown. They disrespectful as hell. And that's one thing I said to my daughter. I'm not taking your disrespect or hers. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need you to tell me how to be a grandparent. You know that. You know I'm a great grandparent. I do things with them. I take them places. I dote on them. You know, it's just like, but I'm not putting up with your nonsense. And in essence, I'm not kissing your ass or your kid's ass. Okay? I'm not doing it. But comment under below if y'all, you know, listen to this. If y'all did up until now, thank you very much. And comment, because I want to talk more about these goddamn disrespectful ass kids these days. Because I got some stories. That I can laugh about now, but back then it was not funny. You know, the things that have gone on between me and my adult children. So I just have to pull away, because at the end of the day, my peace is priceless. And I can say 99% of the time I'm at peace. And I'm not going to let anybody destroy it at 64 years old. You know, I've been through a lot. Most of us have. I'm not trying to, you know. But comment under below and let me know if y'all had these disrespectful ass kids. How y'all deal with it, how the relationship is. Are y'all able to work through it? Maybe y'all can help me out with working through it, because at the end of the day, I do want that connection with my kids. But at what price? You know, and I understand just because somebody doesn't share your blood, just because somebody shares your blood does not necessarily make them family. Like, you can't be family and we have this dysfunction between us too. All right, y'all, I'm getting ready to go, and I think I'm gonna take y'all with me. I'm gonna go and all these. I need some grits and some trash bags. Yep, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna take y'all with me. Let me turn this camera around. Take y'all right with me. I